your money. Because as great as you are, I got news for you. You ain't gonna be able to perform like that forever. We all get old. Father Time is undefeated. Make sure your wallet's fat.
Floyd Mayweather is in a breach. He is officially in a breach. He's been in a breach since the day he went out and said what he said on Saturday, but he's officially in a breach as of yesterday. He has a cure period. There are certain things that he needs to do, and he...
Stephen A. Smith has issued a strong warning to Floyd Mayweather amid reports of a potential $100 million Netflix lawsuit allegedly connected to a contract dispute involving the Manny Pacquiao rematch. Smith has gone as far as claiming that Floyd is now broke and facing serious financial and legal pressure, adding another explosive layer to the ongoing controversy.
In my pocket, remember that? Well, that money may be going if a recent report by News Nation is true. I mean, I'm just so stunned. I'm so stunned.
Jazz Mather believes Floyd could be exposed to serious legal consequences because, according to his claims, Mayweather signed 3 separate agreements that define the matchup as an official fight. Mather argues that changing the event to an exhibition could therefore represent a breach of contract, potentially leaving Floyd vulnerable to substantial financial penalties and legal action from the parties involved.
This was never an exhibition. It was never going to be an exhibition. It was never signed as an exhibition. Manny Pacquiao has no interest in doing an exhibition with Floyd. And just for the record, what the public doesn't know, Floyd Mayweather signed not 1, not 2, but 3 different agreements on 3 different dates with 2 different parties that ultimately got intertwined in the month of January, and this is all related to his return to professional boxing. First one was on October 24th, the second one was on November 6th, third one was on December 14th. He received money for all 3 agreements when he signed them, okay? Not only that, he's taken an advance on his purse on this Mayweather-Pacquiao fight. Okay, on his fight against Pacquiao. So there's another lender also that's now involved in this, okay? So him saying that it's not at the Sphere, him saying that there's...
Manny Pacquiao has made his position clear. He wants an official rematch with Floyd Mayweather Jr. The Filipino boxing legend believes there is still unfinished business between them and wants another legitimate fight to settle the questions that remained after their first encounter.
Why do you want to re-enter?
I think we need this rematch because of the unfinished business in the first one. Like, there's a doubt, like, I'm supposedly win the fight, and there's a lot of distraction on the first fight. I got injured my shoulder, my rotator cuff, so that's why I got operated right after the fight. So we need the rematch. So people deserve.
Manny Pacquiao's promoter, Jazz Mather, recently claimed that April 14th represents a critical deadline for finalizing an agreement with Floyd Mayweather. He warned that if the issues surrounding the deal remain unresolved, the proposed rematch could ultimately be called off.
News from The Ring magazine. Manny Pacquiao was on the show today, Inside the Ring, and he has announced that tomorrow is the deadline to negotiate and finalize a deal between Mayweather and Pacquiao. If the deal's not reached tomorrow, apparently the fight is off, because of course it is. But let's take a look at this segment, and Manny's going to speak on what's happening.
Let me ask you this. Yeah. What is the deadline? Obviously, Netflix already announced that you have to... What is the hard deadline to get this resolved?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow, what time?
14th. End of business day.
End of business tomorrow.
Yeah. And we're getting ahead. We're getting ahead. As long as he's got smart people around him that can see the size of the opportunity, then they can make him a lot of money. More money than he's made in...
Mather also explained that the negotiations involve several different parties, including Netflix. According to his account, failing to reach a final agreement could potentially lead to legal action, putting even greater pressure on everyone involved to resolve the situation before the deadline arrives.
It's not going to resolve to your liking and Manny's liking by tomorrow, and Netflix's liking. Then legal proceedings will begin?
I guess. Look, that's not directly in our hands or in my hands to speak on. There's many parties involved, but all I can say is we are making headway on it. There is a contract in place, and I think better sense will prevail here. We hope it will.
Let me ask you this.
Why? Always something. Floyd, man, it's always something. Whether it's waiting to the last minute to negotiate. I mean, by the way, he's always done this. He's 4 or 5 weeks before a fight is when he'll sign something and then start training. But especially after his career, right? The weird stuff in Dubai when he was held up and he had to pay those men that he owed money to, the scammy kind of nature he went about the Logan Paul fight where he sold the rights to the fight apparently and Logan saw none of that and then they didn't even fight where they were supposed to, the thing with Deji where he was trying to negotiate glove size and weight and all that like an hour before and held out until Jake Paul was removed from...
Floyd Mayweather Jr. has repeatedly argued that Pacquiao should not object to the fight being classified as an exhibition. From Floyd's perspective, the matchup would still provide both fighters with an enormous financial opportunity and could potentially produce one of the largest paydays boxing has ever seen. He continues to view the rematch primarily as an extremely profitable business opportunity for everyone involved.
But boxing retired Manny. Manny didn't retire from boxing. There's a difference. So, of course, if I was Manny Pacquiao, would I be chasing Floyd Mayweather to do an exhibition to get a good payday? Absolutely.
Stephen A. Smith has also been a consistent critic of Mayweather's exhibition career since his retirement. Smith has argued that only a small number of Floyd's post-retirement appearances were truly meaningful, while repeatedly fighting opponents who are not considered elite could eventually hurt the legacy Mayweather spent his career building.
If not the greatest boxer in history, he's absolutely sensational. But he retired years ago, and for me personally, I know these exhibition matches are entertaining. I like the one with Conor McGregor. Not so much the one with Logan Paul. I just see some of these things, and this is just my personal feeling. When you're that great and you're that elite, no one not just anyone deserves to be in a ring with you, even if you are retired, even if it is for exhibition purposes. This is not a movie. This is not Rocky 3, where Rocky is going against Thunderbolt, who that was his name, or Hulk Hogan.
Smith even drew a comparison between Mayweather and LeBron James while explaining why athletes at the highest level need to carefully protect the greatness they established throughout their careers.
Listen, a lot of people out there wish they could be in the ring, on a basketball court with a LeBron James. All right? You don't deserve it. You're not him. You're not on his level. He's so elite. He's so phenomenal. You don't deserve to be in that arena with him unless you've earned it. So that's just how I look at it. These exhibitions and all of that stuff, that little melee and stuff don't matter to me. As far as I'm concerned, it could have potentially been orchestrated. I don't know. But I do know not just anybody should be allowed to be in the ring with Floyd Money Mayweather.
At the same time, money has clearly remained an important part of Floyd Mayweather's career philosophy. During an older interview, Stephen A. Smith questioned whether Floyd cared more about protecting his legacy or maximizing his financial success. Mayweather defended his business-first mentality and explained his approach to making money, but Smith and others viewed those comments as evidence that Floyd's priorities had gradually shifted from boxing legacy toward building and maintaining wealth.
You're going to make a hell of a lot more money.
But the main thing is I made smart investments, and I still make millions every month.
Do you care about your boxing legacy?
More than what?
We ain't gonna say more than money. We know better. We're not gonna say more than money. We know better.
More than my family? No. So what's more important? My children. Because when I make this money, you know what? I put my children and my family in a position that they are entrepreneurs. They are bosses. I don't want my kids to have to answer to nobody. So I will take the long road. I will take the bumps and the bruises for them.
Meanwhile, boxing journalist Lance Pugmire reports that Pacquiao has made his position equally clear. He will not proceed with the proposed matchup unless Floyd Mayweather honors the contract that was reportedly signed. Any attempt to withdraw from the agreement, according to the claim, could create serious complications and potentially lead to legal action.
2 contracts to fight Floyd back in the day, and it didn't happen. And he said this time when it came around that they were negotiating for this fight that's going to be on Netflix at the Sphere, he said, I'm not doing anything until Floyd signs. You guys bring me a signed Floyd contract and then I'll sign it. And so that has happened. And so Manny is like, look, it's signed. He knows that this is supposed to be a real fight. He knows that this is going to be at the Sphere on Netflix. Nothing but that is going to take place. If he decides to walk away from it, there's going to be repercussions. There's going to be, I think the way he phrased it was there's going to be problems. And clearly he's talking about legal maneuvers that would take place against Floyd. and he's calling his bluff. He's like, look, you can either engage in this fight that you have signed for, or
Netflix and other financial backers may have already committed multi-million-dollar advances connected to the proposed event. Those alleged payments raise additional questions about Mayweather's financial agreements and whether existing obligations to investors or lenders could influence his ability to walk away from the deal.
Moves in terms of the way that he's handling this, it certainly seems. Now, I just want to touch on that problems statement. What does that refer to? Because there's reports I've heard that there's been money given out. Would that have to be recouped? Is there any credence to that there has been money given out already in advance?
Yeah, this is one of those things, guys. I always feel a little bit icky because I haven't seen it myself, so I'd rather see things before I talk about it. But I have. They did say that there has been advances that have been made. That Netflix has given Mayweather some financial advances, and we're talking millions of dollars. I don't know exactly, but when I threw out a figure, they said it's even higher than what I threw out. I threw out multiple millions of dollars. That Netflix has provided some money, that Floyd apparently has taken the contracts that he's had and has gone to a lender and said, look, I'm going to be earning all of this money. Here's the signed contract proving so. And then that the lender has given him some cash up front based on that as well. So he's basically taken these numerous advances on the earnings that he's going.
Jazz Mather believes the timing is ideal for a Mayweather-Pacquiao rematch from a business standpoint. Boxing is becoming increasingly global, while the transition from traditional pay-per-view towards streaming services such as Netflix has completely changed the financial model surrounding major events. In Mather's view, the combination of a massive worldwide audience, easy streaming access, and the nostalgia surrounding the original Mayweather-Pacquiao fight makes the rematch an obvious commercial opportunity. He believes bringing back what was once boxing's biggest grossing event could potentially break streaming records while changing how major combat sports events are consumed in the modern era. With global interest in sports entertainment continuing to expand, Mather argues that another Pacquiao-Mayweather showdown makes enormous financial sense and could become one of the defining sporting spectacles of the streaming era.
Look at boxing. Look at how boxing's at the forefront of everything, right? I mean, it's the original legacy sport. You have people from everywhere watching it. It's global. And then Floyd and Manny's first fight was the highest grossing boxing event of all time, record breaking. So now you shift from the pay-per-view era into streaming era. You have Netflix, that's the dominant force, and look, they have positioned themselves as a premier producer and broadcaster in boxing, right? And for their live streams and whatnot, live events. So having Manny and Floyd on Netflix is the biggest thing in the streaming era, right? So they've done, these guys did it once in pay-per-view, and they're going to want to shatter all the records again.
Yeah,
and people want to see it. People want to see it. Everybody wants it.
Appetite's there. I watch fights.
Listen, appetite's definitely there, and just the platform of Netflix and the opportunities that are going to come out of it for both of them, right? And it's.
Meanwhile, Dan Patrick questioned the entire idea of a Mayweather-Pacquiao rematch, asking who actually wants to see the two legends fight again. He expressed doubts that fans are genuinely demanding another meeting, arguing that the matchup may feel unnecessary given how their original fight played out. Patrick believes bringing the rivalry back at this point could be driven more by money and entertainment than actual sporting demand. He also revisited the legacy of their first encounter, suggesting that the fight did not completely live up to the enormous expectations surrounding it, which makes the case for a rematch even harder to justify.
I still think it's a joke, but it's actually real, and that is Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather in September at the Sphere in Las Vegas. Last time they fought, I believe, was May of 2015. I don't know who was asking for this. And you go back to that 11 years ago, we found out after the fact that Pacquiao had an injured shoulder. And I would say that it got too far. Now, I remember talking, I can't even say who I was talking to. Wow. Got to be careful.
Statute of limitations?
Yeah. No. It felt like that somebody wanted to call this fight off, and they were told you can't. It was too deep, too deep in the game.
Simon Jordan has taken a similar position, arguing that much of the excitement surrounding a Mayweather-Pacquiao rematch is rooted in entertainment and business rather than genuine sporting necessity. He questions the value of revisiting the rivalry, especially considering Pacquiao's continued activity later in his career, including performances that have shown signs of decline and mixed results. Jordan also points out that Mayweather's recent appearances have primarily been exhibitions, including his matchup with Conor McGregor, reinforcing his belief that these events are designed more around spectacle than elite-level competition. He argues that streaming platforms such as Netflix are increasingly influencing boxing through an entertainment-first business model, where investments are based heavily on subscriber growth and global engagement rather than sporting merit alone. If Netflix believes a matchup can attract viewers and increase subscriptions, Jordan suggests the company will treat the fight as a commercial entertainment product.
Title to Ryan Garcia, deservedly so, and that was a draw in which most people saw Pacquiao at the end of his career, saw what was left of him, and were not too happy that he came back again. Floyd Mayweather has had a variety of different bouts. I mean, I hear that he's going to fight Mike Tyson. I don't understand what that thinking is, or an exhibition. We've seen him fight and hold up Conor McGregor in an exhibition fight. It's Netflix building entertainment models around sport. Sport is entertainment. It crosses over. Netflix have got a proven model of success that ultimately they invest some money into these sort of things, whether it's Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson or Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua. They look at their lifetime value of their average subscriber, not every subscriber, but their average subscriber, and then they multiply it by the amount of subscribers they think they're going to get as new ones.
Several boxing analysts have also pointed to reports of multiple financial and legal problems involving Floyd Mayweather, including lawsuits such as the dispute reportedly involving Showtime, substantial debts, property foreclosures, and his notoriously expensive lifestyle. Taken together, these issues have fueled concerns about Floyd's overall financial stability. Despite earning hundreds of millions throughout his boxing career, critics argue that having enormous wealth on paper does not necessarily mean Mayweather has enough liquid cash available when major obligations come due. Because of that, some have suggested that his financial situation could potentially create pressure to complete the proposed Manny-Pacquiao fight. The implication is that legal responsibilities and financial commitments could play a greater role in Floyd's decision-making than personal or sporting motivations, making the negotiations even more urgent.
You're buying assets that don't appreciate. You're having to sell back things and close businesses. You are not paying rent on spots in New York, on private jets, that one of which he had to already sell. And then you're in two major lawsuits that are probably going to take a long time to figure out. If you don't sign this contract, Floyd might legitimately go broke and declare bankruptcy. I'm not even joking about that. He might actually go broke. I don't know how much money he has actually liquid. Because remember, when he fought Conor McGregor back in, 2017, 2018? He told the IRS he didn't have liquid amount of money, $20 million liquid after making almost $1 billion. He didn't have it. And if he didn't have it then, he got paid crazy off the Conor fight, true. But since then, what has happened? Losses after liens, after non-payment, after... Dude, this might be the one time where Floyd is strong-armed into signing a fight that he maybe didn't want to be a part of if he, didn't think it was a pro, or he signed down for it and didn't understand. I have no idea, but he that's the other thing. He signed three separate contracts according to Manny Pacquiao's team already. What did you think this was?
WAC 100, Floyd Mayweather Jr.'s business partner, has strongly rejected claims that the boxing legend is broke. He insists that Mayweather continues to control several successful businesses and generates substantial income away from the ring. According to WAC 100, Floyd's financial empire includes investments, promotional ventures, endorsements, and other business interests that continue producing revenue. He maintains that Mayweather is not experiencing financial hardship despite the growing speculation and remains focused on expanding his wealth through diversified investments across sports, entertainment, and real estate.